Hey, okay, so today I'm gonna try to do an unedited video or minimally edited video. In the old days of YouTube, I think some people referred to this as the strip down challenge, where you talk for 10 minutes and don't edit anything out. Kind of just like a stream of consciousness type of deal. But before that, I started messing with some makeup because we have a goth night coming up. So I'm trying to see what kind of makeup I want to do, and that's why my eye makeup looks so crazy. And then I had to put on some dark lipstick to balance it out. I think this makeup looks pretty cool. It makes me wish like I didn't have the tail of my eyebrows on at the moment, but also I have started keto again because I'm going to be doing some transitions. Not like that kind of transition. I'm going to be doing some health transitions. So I'm on day 3 and the keto flu is hitting a little. So I'm kind of low energy, which is why I didn't change out of my pajamas, which would have helped complement this loud makeup I'm wearing. So I'm in goth night makeup and pajamas. All right. I also am struggling with some low energy. You're probably still going to see some jump cuts in this video. Hopefully there will be fewer than normal. I'm just going to try to be my real self and speak from the soul. So today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about movie watching and how it has evolved in my life thanks to technology and stuff. And just like my thoughts on the current situation. I should have brought some water, oh my god. All right. So, when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch very many movies. I'm over it, but I feel like I always have to say that to explain like why I am who I am and why I probably haven't seen your favorite movie. Anyway, my mom had this book in the house and it was this huge encyclopedia of movies. I have tried to look up a picture of this book online, but I can't remember what it was called, but it was just like a huge encyclopedia of movies, like listed in alphabetical order, and you could just like look up the title, and I think it would say probably like the year it was made, who directed it, and like a one sentence, maybe like what genre it was, and then like a one sentence synopsis of the movie. And I thought that was so cool, and I would just look through this book of movies I've never heard of and movies I'd probably never see, and just I've always loved this idea of obscure media. And back in those days as a kid, I wasn't ever thinking there'd be a way to see some of these movies. Like, let's say there's a title that interested me, like it wasn't going to be a Blockbuster, it wasn't going to be like at Walmart, it wasn't going to be the library. There was no way to watch it. That would be it. So especially like foreign films and stuff, or really, really old films from a different generation, it'd be like you're just out of luck. There's no way to get your hands on it. And then later on, we had Netflix, and that was back when it was like mail order Netflix, so you could get your hands on you could rent some more obscure stuff, some harder to obtain stuff. And I really thought that was cool. And I'm not sure what the status was of downloading like movies and stuff. I suppose you could, but it would take me days. On dial-up, it would take me days to even download. I think it would take me 1 day to download one song. So I would also download some Degrassi episodes, like the ones that were banned in the US. It would take days and days and days to download one 30-minute episode of a show. Oh, and like music videos. I downloaded a music video or two. But anyway, if I wanted to watch Jalo, let's say I wanted to watch Jalo back then, how would I ever even get my hands on any of it? Just the whole supply chain, the logistics of it all. I was always like, I'd hear about a title or read about, that's another thing I used to do is I would read about movies and shows. Because that stuff you could find online, but just actually watching it, that was the challenge. And another thing I wanted to talk about while we're still at this point in time is the whole like who the actors are and where are they now. Like, for example, I really liked Mary-Kate and Ashley. And all you could know about Mary-Kate and Ashley was what was on that tape that you had, or if you managed to get a magazine that had an interview with them in it. That was like back a little bit pre-internet kind of. So I remember having a magazine that had a little interview with Mary-Kate and Ashley, and it had their birthday on it. And I was like, I have secret knowledge right now. Like, this is not readily available information, and I know their birthday. I think it was like June 13th or something. But just all you could do was look at the actor on the screen and just wonder about them. You couldn't know anything else about who they are, where they live, what their passions are, who they are at all, really, because what you're seeing is a fictional character they're portraying. But I remember just like driving myself crazy wondering about, and musicians were the same way, just like wondering about, for example, Haley Mills. I also loved The Parent Trap, and I just wanted to know simple things like, is she still alive? Also Annie. I remember the actress who played Annie. I wanted to know where she is now. Those kinds of things, like, I was always curious about. And that is what has been so cool about the internet, is not only can I look them up and see, their life story, their filmography, what else they do besides acting, I can also very likely find them on social media and keep up with them on a daily basis and even talk to them sometimes. Now, I'm not trying to like idolize these people, but it's this form of closure for me, I guess. Especially if they're in a film I really like. I like to be able to bring it to a close by checking in with them as a person. Like, where are they now? If that makes any sense. So, anyway, along with the joys the internet has brought in terms of like discovering new media, movies is what I'm here to talk about. So discovering new movies, as well as accessing biographies and filmographies of actors and directors and composers. I just love that I can satiate that curiosity, and that I can now follow an actor from movie to movie to movie if I particularly like them, or follow a director around. Not like, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not creeping. But let's go from this movie to this movie to this movie. That's what I mean by follow. So now we can read about all these people in these films and genres on demand. We can watch reviews and read reviews, access endless reviews on all of these pieces of media. And now we can also access this media on demand. This blows my mind. All these streaming services have just been life-changing for me. Anything from YouTube to Tubi to Amazon Prime to Netflix, which I feel like it's going downhill. but we'll get to that. So when I started, I've always just kind of like explored. So I would just exploratorily pick something to watch on Prime. I really like that. I like finding something I've never heard of and watching it, or something that no one else has ever heard of and watching it. Especially things that are like underground, no budget, exploitation, controversial. I always am just drawn to what you might call more obscure. And finally, I can just watch this stuff. When I decided I was going to get into Giallo, I went through the entire list of Jolly that was on Wikipedia, and then searched every single title on Prime to add to my watch list. Just the free ones to start, or free included with Prime. And that was the start of my journey. And YouTube has been really like a place I can fall back on when all else fails. YouTube has a lot of uploads. And I think there's maybe not a resurgence in DVDs, but I think it's become like a collector's item to have DVDs and Blu-rays. So I think all of my favorite Jolly are available in physical form. So one day I'm going to have a Giallo collection. Okay, so I am noticing that things are kind of going downhill. The selections are getting smaller. What is included for free is it's changing too much. I think it's changing too frequently and sporadically. So for example, I have watched A Blade in the Dark on Amazon Prime 3 times. I went to go watch it again last weekend because, I just wanted to put on something familiar, and it's no longer included. I had a feeling as I was typing it in, I was like, I just feel like it's not going to be there anymore. And it wasn't. And similarly, a lot of the Jolly that I did watch for free are no longer on there. I looked through my watch list of movies that I wanted to watch on Prime specifically, and almost everything on there is no longer included with Prime. And I haven't done any research, so I don't know the pattern of like how they put things on and take things off. With that being said, I'm probably going to do a follow-up video on this subject, like once I research a little bit how these streaming services, what dictates what's available and what's behind a paywall, and what gets taken on and put on and taken off and all that stuff. A lot of the Jolly that I was wanting to watch come with a channel, whether it's Shudder or AMC or something else. And I don't know, I feel like they have made us realize we can't live without it. And now they're putting up more paywalls. So it's not enough that I pay $150 a year for Prime. Like, now if I want to access these movies, I have to pay for them individually, rent them individually, or subscribe to an additional channel. And I'm not trying to say what the value of this art is, because obviously it's really valuable. And I'm honored, I'm privileged to even have access to it. But I think the undependability, the unpredictability of the availability it's kind of driving me crazy. How come I can have this movie, A Blade in the Dark, I can have it and I can watch it, and then all of a sudden you take it from me. I feel like it's some sort of a game, and I don't even like when YouTubers upload videos and then take them down, or when people on Instagram post a bunch of pictures and then just delete all their pictures. I don't like that. I guess I just like stability. It's just been kind of frustrating and disheartening, I think, because I felt like on top of the world, I can finally watch almost anything I want. And now it's like they're taking a few steps back. and, adding some toll booths. And I'm not trying to complain or whatever, but it just makes me wonder what's next. And this also is why, above anything else, as great as... Okay, no, I remember what else I wanted to say. When they do this, when they put all these paywalls, I can't explore. I can't exploratorily try new movies. I have to know what I'm choosing and why I'm choosing it, and know that I have to pay for it. I can't be like, oh, Queens of Evil looks good. Let me try it out. Let me click play. Like now, instead, I have to do my own research. I have to find Queens of Evil. I have to read about Queens of Evil and figure out if that's something I want to pay to stream. So you can't just sample things. You can't just try things out. And that's driving me crazy because for example, my watch list on Amazon, I could just be like, it'll suggest one thing and then it might suggest another thing, and I can just kind of wander around and explore without having that intention of like, this is where I must go. This is a long video. I need to stop. So I'll just wrap it up. This is why, above all else, I think physical media it's going to be my jam, because I don't want anyone to take this stuff away from me, and I don't want anyone to tell me when I can and can't watch it, and I don't want anyone to make me pay $4 every time I want to watch something, and I don't want my internet connectivity to dictate whether or not I can watch my favorite movies. So, I'm just going to cut it off here. Apparently, I could go on forever. I didn't know I would talk this long. So, anyway, those are my current thoughts about the internet and movie watching and movie exploration. I might talk on this subject some more later because it's important to me. So, hope you enjoyed. I'm going to go eat something keto and lay on the couch. Bye. Ciao.